All right, let's start over. Ready on three. On you, Bob.
Okay. Trying to remember. Well, talk about Devo's three. You guys had like an 11-2 run after they tied it at 42. Then they cut it to 1. Then you had a 10-3 to close it. Those two runs, what were the keys to those?
We played with good pace. I thought, we shot selection was pretty good. And again, just talking about those three clutch shots of Devo's 3-ball. I mean, Jay Will's 3-ball, Chris Likes' 3 off transition, and then Devo's pull up jump shot at the top of the key inside of the 3-point line. All 3 of those shots were, really, really clutch for us for sure. And then we made a defensive adjustment at halftime and moved the DC Tony onto Molinar. And I thought that helped put a longer, bigger guy on him as well.
Points in the first 10 minutes of the game. What made you guys get hot during the end of the industry to hit those 3 big shots?
Down the stretch?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, Jalen is so confident right now. His shot, he was open, and we tell our guys when you're open, shoot it. I thought Devo was really, really good tonight, picking up loose balls. He shot that shot, obviously at the end of the shot clock, got great lift on the shot it with confidence. And then Chris's, maybe you try to run some more clock, but that's kind of who he is. I mean, we knew recruiting him that he's got this dynamic flair to his game, and he's a different player the last 2 games for us, for sure. And he's had a different approach as well the last couple of games.
Jalen had a little bit of foul trouble in the first half again, but Kamani was pretty laser focused, physical. I think he was even trying to get into the head of some of the Mississippi State bigs on an inbounds play. Just when he can come in and provide some minutes like that with Jalen now, how big is that?
Yes, I mean, it's huge because, Kamani Johnson's rebounds per minute is incredibly positive for us. He's got to, he gets to the foul line a lot too. He didn't convert tonight, but if you look at Kamani's free throws attempted and Kamani's rebounds per minute, both of them are, I mean, they're so far ahead of leading us. And so his energy and his toughness certainly give us a different look as well when he goes in for us. We felt like it was a good matchup for him to try to take Tulu Smith off the bounce, and even Davis. I mean, part of our game plan was to space our bigs out on the floor, whoever it was, because Jay Will had some opportunities early in the first half as well, where we wanted our bigs to have a little bit more freedom with dribble drives, trying to draw FTAs, and Kamani took advantage of that for sure.
Coach, when we talked to you before the game, you mentioned maybe a few theme areas from the first go around that you wanted to fix for this time. 2 that stood out to me: offensive rebounds and turnovers. You cut both of those down significantly from the last time. What was the difference there?
I mean, we just talked, the last couple of days, Curtis, is just like, we cannot turn the ball over at all. You've got to value the ball. We're at home. I told him I'd rather have a bad shot or a shot on goal. Just did not want to turn the ball over. We had a goal going into the game of 9 or less. I thought we did a phenomenal job, getting a shot on goal. One of the things we talked about too as a group was their field goals attempted. You look at their field goals attempted to their opponents, a lot of times it's tilted in their favor in games that they win because of their extra possessions off rebounding. And tonight, we took 10 more shots than them, which is huge. And we felt if we could just be even on the glass or +1, we ended up being +1, but the key was only allowing 8 offensive rebounds along with those turnovers.
You mentioned moving Adis over onto Molinar. How did you feel like you guys did on Molinar overall?
I thought we did a good job. I mean, he's a really, 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 really special player. We didn't give up a 3 to him. He goes 7 of 18 and drew 5 fouls, which, he's going to do that. But I think the biggest thing really was eliminating his assists. He averages close to 20 points a game. And then if he gets those 4 or 5 assists, now you're talking about an exorbitant amount. And so we felt like when he had the ball in his hands, make him a scorer. Don't let him get easy dump off passes. He had 1 dump off pass for a clean look off pick and roll. But I thought our defensive activity with hands was really important guarding him. I think we made him work, for shots. And obviously we have a small rotation sometimes that we play, but I didn't think we looked like the team that was tired as the game went down the stretch. I actually thought we looked really, really fresh. Comparably speaking, as that game wore on. I thought the last 3 minutes, we took our energy level up.
Coach, it seems like Chris has been more aggressive and kind of a pest defensively the last couple of games. Is that something you addressed with him, or is it something he's kind of just picked up on his own the last couple of games?
No, it's been addressed. Your best friend as a coach is the bench sometimes, or lack of minutes or lack of role. And Chris we recruited him because he's a really talented player and he's really different. Like when he comes in a game, it's just this dynamic difference. The speed of the game, him digging balls out of the post. I just didn't think he was using his leverage defensively, meaning getting under people and bother them. And I've had small guards like Earl Boykins and Speedy Claxton and guys like that really get up into you and they make life miserable, even dribbling. And I think he's done that the last couple of games. And we've allowed him to gamble a little bit more too, when he's not on the ball, coming down in the post. And certainly his steals and activity defensively has been way better.
Eric, a pretty rough shooting half, really, for both teams. But then you guys hit 15 of 31 in the second half, which even I know is almost 50%. I think it's 48 something. What was the difference in the second half shooting?
We just got 3-ball happy. I don't know. We took like 13 at half. We made 1 more than I made. And we got to the foul line in the first half. If we would have only taken 7 threes, we would have been to the foul line another 6 or 7 times. We just, Stan got 3-ball happy and Trey Wade took a couple. And then, it goes without saying that JD took, his fair share as well.
And JD obviously man the first game. And tonight, he struggled with some shooting, but 14 points, I think 6 boards, 4 assists. What'd you think of his all around? And how good to have him, second time around.
Changes everything. He put so much pressure on the defensive game plan of the opponents. I could tell that they worked hard on their pick and roll defensive coverage because I thought their defensive pick and roll coverage was good. And Coach Howland spent time on it. You could tell that they were worried about JD Notte with the ball in his hands, which is good. That opens things up for other people as well. And sometimes the primary scorer is not going to shoot a high percentage, but if he's putting pressure and extra eyes on him, it can open up some things. And I thought JD moved the ball better in the second half because we told him, hey, respect the defense. They're doing a great job on you. It's your job now to kind of move that thing, and you got to let the ball have some eyes and some freedom to it.
Hey, Coach, you got a health or injury report for Connor Vanover? I see he came back to the bench tonight, I believe.
What's that?
Connor Vanover.
He's healthy.
You talk about those shoes in front of you as well. A little detail.
Yeah, we we felt like marketing our program, it was something a little bit different. And so when we sat around this summer, we came up with an idea of trying to have a different theme for shoes. And, obviously Coach Richardson and Coach Sutton are, they set the foundation for everything, those 2 guys. And so I thought it was a great way to recognize them. And we got some other themes coming that I think are cool and a great way to honor past, present, future. We've tried to do all those things. And it helps with recruiting.
Coach, it's been pretty much a tale of 2 different games this week, making every single shot you can at Georgia this week. Tonight been a grinded out type of game. Which win do you think heading into this kind of murderer's row of the schedule gives you and your coaching staff more confidence? And you talk about 3 happy. Do you think you were 3 happy tonight because you shot over 50% against Georgia?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think Mississippi State did a good job of their defensive spacing. But yeah, I think maybe that might have been the case. We talked at halftime about, that I'm a little bit older than them, obviously, and I've seen a lot more games than them. And what you do one game does not carry over to the next game. I promise you that. There's a new identity, a new theme every time you step. So just because you're hot one game does not mean you're going to be hot the next game. I said a little bit more direct than that, with a little bit more inflection in the voice. But I thought we got away from that in the second half and became who we were.
Final question, Bob. Eric, Chris, is it his maturity? Some guys, he had turnover issues. You weren't playing him a lot, understandably so. Then he worked his way back into the rotation, I guess. What does that say about him that he was able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he just, he understood that. I think the whole team, Bob, understood that enough was enough. And if we tell you to do X, Y, Z, you do it that way or you will not play. And not only did Chris start executing what we wanted him to do, but then he started buying into becoming a vocal leader. And he's a really quiet person by nature. He's like one of our most talkative guys. I mean, he just like the light bulb, it just switched, all of a sudden. And he's making our practices better. He's shooting more on his own. He's staying after practice more than he was. I think he realized like, hey, this is what the expectations are. And I, meaning Chris, have to change to do what they want. And he's done a great job because there's been he's just doing it. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
I looked up your last 3 years at Nevada. You're 11-2 now in these quote payback games. What do you think of that? When the team beats you, you play the second time, you're 11-2.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's every game's a game of adjustments. Every time out there should be some type of adjustment or tinkering. I guess good luck. I like playing a team a second time because I think it's more like an NBA or a minor league or whatever, like a playoff game, because there are matchups that you can look at and try to determine what a good matchup is, what a bad matchup is, where you screwed up the first time you played a team, your rotations. Do you change the theme you had? All those things are fun, I think. I want you to see this.